In the world of sales, how is it that you come across needy to your buyer, and why does it matter? I'm Scott Bell. I'm coming to you live from the North Shore of Oahu. I am at Sharks Cove on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you. It's a perfect day for a couple reasons. One, there's big wave surfing today at Pipe. Waves are supposed to be like at 25 feet, ridiculous. And two, we're talking about how we can stop you from being needy in the sales process. Now, in the world of sales, there is a phrase, and it's always be closing. Always be closing. Right? And so what salespeople hear and what a lot of trainers teach is like you constantly have to keep pounding that buyer and closing the deal to reinforce in their mind that they are buying from you today, right? And it's a pretty aggressive maneuver, and it's something that I bought into for the longest time, and then I was trained differently, and I was like, thank goodness I've seen the light. Okay, so here's what happens. Let's put you in the whole spectrum of the buying process, whole spectrum, and if you constantly are you ready to buy? Are you going to buy? Are you ready to buy? Are you going to buy? Now, it's going to be said a little bit differently, and I'm simplifying it for a reason, but think about this from your perspective. You sit down with a significant other. You sit down with a significant other, and every time that you see them and every time you talk to them, they go, hey, do you still love me? Like, after a point, you're like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, we're still married. We're still in a relationship. We don't always get along, but yeah, I still love you, right? The same thing happens is when you're with a buyer, and you're constantly going through the always be closing process, and you're constantly like, are you going to buy this? Are you going to buy this? Are you going to buy this? Instead of just assuming the sale and believing that they're going to. Now, I'm a big believer that if an objection comes up, you answer that objection in the time that it comes up, and you don't wait for it to get bigger at the end. So I'll go right with a needy salesperson who's struggling, and they hear, oh, my coach, my mentor, my manager that I had previously told me I always got to be closing. And so they start off really good in the beginning with some rapport, and then it goes Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It goes, hey, we had a regular salesperson that was going to meet with us that we saw, or he came to visit, and then all of a sudden he turned into a shark, right? And that's one of the things that salespeople really face is they go really good at rapport, right? They go really good at rapport, and then they turn into somebody completely different. And in the mind of the buyer, they're like, hey, wait a minute, something's wrong here. And anytime something's wrong here, it turns into an objection. Always be closing is one of the neediest ways to try and work on getting a deal from a buyer. And I say try because sometimes it works, but in my mind, it leads to a lot more objections than it does good, because the buyer's like, if your product was so good, why would you have to constantly keep trying to reclose me? Why would you have to constantly keep trying? Now, moving forward, I mean, sales has been around since forever, but it really got developed in the 40s and the 50s. And we're talking about using always be closing is dated technology. Right? Like, so I come out here to Hawaii and people don't think that it's part of the United States, believe it or not. I don't know why. They're like, they take American money there, they speak English. I'm like, it's the 50th state, duh, come on. But, like, you know, they think that people here talk on telephones on cans attached to wires. If you're using always be closing, if you believe in that, I'm gonna say you are using dated technology. You're using coconut shells with wires attached, making phone calls to people, saying, hey, I can help you out. The better thing to do is to assume the sale. Yes, you do have a few checking questions, but to constantly be closing means that you're a needy salesperson. Hey, agree or disagree, leave a comment in the box down below. I'll talk with you. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. Tell me why you believe me, tell me why you don't believe me. I will, on this video, I promise, just like any of my other videos, I will get back to you and we can have a conversation. And if it's good enough, I'll shoot a second video depending upon where I'm at. It might be in Sacramento, might be in LA, might be here in Hawaii. But I will shoot a follow-up video on always be closing and why it is super needy and you're losing deals because of it. There you go. You got one thing to do from here, just one thing. Find the subscribe button, click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update that says Scott Bell Consultant sent another fantastic video, probably from a cool location. Today I'm on the North Shore of Oahu. We'll see you soon. Thanks for dropping by. Aloha.